one of our MLP teams and a fantastic pickleball player himself. Shout out to James Blake.
Parris Todd, our first server of the match. Kaitlyn Christian on the return. A battle upcoming. Kaitlyn Christian takes the net early. She said it's no mystery yesterday to us in her post-match interview with a win over Mary Brasha. She said, I take the net early, I take it often. That's not new to anybody in the scouting report matching up against me.
Yeah, and that definitely ain't broke, so there's no need fixing it.
Side out.
Parris Todd with a 66% win percentage. Started well out of the top 20 in January 1st. Worked her way through the ranks. Beautiful drop volley from Kaitlyn Christian to win back the serve.
Do I get to say it again? 'Tis the season. 2-drop volley.
0-0.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy December. Oh, man.
Ow. Slicing and dicing from the kitchen. Kaitlyn Christian, dynamic with their ability to manipulate the ball path. That lengthy reach, high-level tennis background, 68% win percentage for her as well.
Oh.
High-level tennis background, especially in doubles, really helps. Nice ball to the corner right off the sideline, and Kaitlyn Christian awarded the first point of the match.
Yeah, she's capable of dominating those cat and mouse situations, and that's because of that athleticism and reach that you mentioned.
So much pressure Christian's putting on, and that's a great mover at the baseline for Parris Todd. What kind of adjustments she need to maybe start working in her game as she's grinding the baseline against a player that's really aggressive to the net after this serve. One way is to take the net first, like she did there.
That's a great way to start. She might need to show, you know, some of those offensive options as well as those defensive options when her opponent's at the net. No easy task. Kaitlyn Christian is a brick wall, but showing that variety of options will open up more opportunities later.
Nice drop from Parris, but Kaitlyn Christian all over it.
What a Cinderella story. Kaitlyn Christian just being here at the PPA Tour Finals and now making a late break towards gold.
Yeah. Finished at the top of her pool, a perfect 3-0 performance.
Side out.
A pool that had Catherine Parento in it, Mary Brasha and Georgia Johnson. She had a big win over Catherine Parento earlier in the week. Parris Todd 2-1 to advance out of her pool.
Point.
Dropper. Kaitlyn Christian cranked it into the net. Parris Todd had to take out a rising star in Kate Fahey to pursue the top 2 spots in her pool, where Annalie Waters also came out of.
1-3.
Never a good day to see Waters in your pool, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well done by Christian to the corner.
Yeah, I would say the Fahey Parris Todd match was the most pinnacle match of the pool.
Yeah, that ended up being the deciding factor of who would advance, though Kate Fahey did play Annalie close.
Yep. Yeah, very
in a couple of games.
Losing game 1 to really just a trickler off the net.
Point. Four-one.
Clean pass for Parris Todd. The fan base speaks on her behalf.
And when there's one from Parris, there's more to follow. Just getting started. Beautiful.
1-4.
There it is. You said it. Parris answered. Where there's one, there's more.
Two, 4. Side out.
Get deep on the serve. Parris takes a couple of steps back off the baseline to help with the trajectory.
4-2.
Great scramble from Todd, but Kaitlyn Christian is commanding the point early. If you're the player on the ropes, how do you get off the ropes by a player that's dictating what they want?
Well, you never phase in that belief in yourself. Deep serves, deep returns,
Timeout,
whatever you're
receiver,
building up in your.
5-2.
There's that timeout. That's a great way to do it as well.
5-2.
Makes for a unique atmosphere at the PPA Tour Finals.
Point.
And the point for Christian.
Can't let that discourage you. Right shot, right decision.
6-2.
Full command.
Point.
Kaitlyn Christian jumps ahead 7-2. Kaitlyn Christian, a story of resiliency and hard work. Talked to her yesterday. She said she was really pleased with where she's at in her career. Well
7-2.
outside the top 20 now and the top 7 in the world.
Side out.
Big serve, a bit too big for Christian.
Yeah, she's rocking that Proton paddle, Kaitlyn Christian.
2-7.
Great piece of equipment. And of course, Parris Todd with her Franklin paddle. Ooh.
Well done.
Wielding it well. Georgia Johnson, J.W. Johnson, Hayden Patriquin, all wielding that fantastic Franklin paddle as of
3-7.
now.
Side out.
Of course, C.J. Klinger, Andre Diescu wielding on the side of that Proton.
Charles
7-3.
Darling in the house. He's in support of his Proton athletes. Founder of the Proton paddle. Ooh, drop volley miss into the net. Well done by Todd to move Christian around a bit more from the kitchen. Is there a weakness you could pick on Christian's side if you're Todd?
No. No, she's all iron and steel.
3-7. Point.
The potential weakness could be, you know, a really, really in-depth defensive game, shallow drop shots and whatnot. But like we mentioned earlier, the athleticism and reach of Kaitlyn Christian is going to make that just an
4-7.
uphill climb as well. So. She's shaping up to be one of the best
Timeout, receiver,
singles players in
5-7.
the world.
And Parris Todd has a whole lot of fight. Whoa, Parris Todd hangs on to take another.
Point.
Chance to tie it on her way back to the service line.
Just in case, she's going to put another paddle on that ball. Secure the point. She's
6-7.
doing it.
What a shot from Christian. Hit it with a purpose, right to the left foot of Parris Todd in the transition area, caught up with indecision.
Yeah, and Kaitlyn Christian makes you decide.
7-6. Point.
8-6 lead for Christian.
8-6.
High serve.
Parris Todd goes big on the pass. A little help from the tape.
Yeah. As always, better an inch high than an inch low.
6-8.
Nice drop on the third from midway up the court.
Kind of a single staple option with your third when playing against a righty is that spot.
Seen Natalie do it a little bit today. Harsh angle, but a lot of topspin.
Yeah.
7-8.
Where it dies off.
Force that option and then work from there to open up other options. Dang, back
Wow.
to it.
Point.
Tie game, Parris Todd climbing back after trailing big early.
She has a sideline option here, shows it, and then blitz it to the back corner, cross court. Great point.
8-8.
Out of reach for Christian. Todd takes her first lead of the match.
We're going to get a Kaitlyn Christian timeout
Timeout
here.
receiver, 9-8.
What perseverance on the side.
9-8.
Here we go.
That's wide.
Point.
Game point, Parris Todd.
Game point. $10-8.
Clean winner with the pass. Comes back from out of nowhere. Parris Todd takes the first. 11-8.
Yeah, keeping a pressure point on that backhand and then opening up this sideline option for game at exactly the right time. Look at that game face. Parris Todd in the house here on our semifinal matches.
Locked in and more to come. Game 2 coming up next from the CIBC PPA Tour Finals presented by Roar Organic. Game off of Kaitlyn Christian.
Until now. Oh, yeah.
Side out.
World class. How impressive is this? I mean, Kaitlyn Christian playing rock solid, and now Parris Todd with this type of rebuttal.
Second meeting of the year, second semifinal of the year between these two.
Side out.
Another semifinal came in March. Two very different players, two more battle-tested players.
0-0.
Wow, Todd gets a hold of a beastly attack from Kaitlyn Christian.
We're going to get an early timeout here from Kaitlyn. Not just yet.
With no points on the board, that'd be an interesting
0-0.
move.
Point.
Nice return. Todd gets the opening point of game 2.
One zero.
Ooh,
Side
at
out.
the opening, Christian was committed to the backhand side of the courts. Instead, it goes wide. Christian with the side out.
And it's not easy, but even over these course couple points, Parris Todd is taking her
0-1.
time much better. She's holding her shot a little bit longer, forcing Kaitlyn Christian to guess.
That's a big angle for Kaitlyn Christian, and the best way to put the ball away in that situation. Power doesn't always work in those scenarios, but angles do.
Kaitlyn Christian with the dunk. Beautiful. The fans showed
1-1.
up for semifinal Saturday here at the Tour Finals.
That's
Point.
wide. Christian regains the lead. And some confidence back in her step as she approaches to the kitchen.
2-1. Side out. One, two.
Oh, what a pass. Sneaks it through on Kaitlyn's way up to the kitchen.
It's a great ball path here. It's a little bit of a smidge of an inside out. Just blazes it past Kaitlyn Christian. And that's what happens when you have that many options. Kaitlyn Christian has to cover a lot of
2-2.
court right now at any given time.
Point.
So good.
Emotional reaction too from Parris Todd, who's a more measured, steady player.
And
Watch it again.
we touched on, you know, hitting it to the player a little bit. She's doing just that on Kaitlyn
3-2.
Christian, forcing her off balance to really secure the point overall.
Point.
Any particular targets on her body that you're noticing that are working for
It's
Todd
that
with?
backhand side.
Yeah.
Kaitlyn Christian
Left
has
hip.
to wait and hold positioning for that drop shot that Todd has established, and it's opening up the entire right side of the court.
Time in.
By Christian to try and break up the momentum
4-2.
brewing for Parris Todd, who had to come back late in game one to take it. Spot in the championship round on the line, and that was a muffed return from Kaitlyn Christian. Not a ton of pace coming from Todd. Self-inflicted injury. 5-2 lead now for Parris Todd.
5-2. Point.
Heavy pass from Todd, 6-2.
Parris Todd's time to shine.
Parris Todd became
6-2.
pro in 2022. It's only taken 2 years for her to rise to the top. Oh,
Side out.
Todd seemed to have it under control, but Christian survives the battle. Needs a point here desperately.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of sharing the same side of the net with Parris Todd in her first year,
2-6.
having a hand in that. We had a great run, some great matches against Riley Newman, Catherine Parento at the
Side
time.
out.
The early years, and now what she's been able to succeed
6-2.
in doing with her career thus far.
Side out.
That's what happens when a player falls in love with the game.
Last time Parris Todd was in championship winning form, it was here in San Clemente where she beat Annalie Waters for the gold. Gonna recapture and bottle up that Southern California
2-6.
magic, place she resided for many years of her life.
Point.
Kaitlyn Christian's on the board again.
3-6.
Beautiful crank from Parris. Todd whips it out of the air. Another look.
Strict fire, dynamic movement on that overhead. That forehand put away.
Just coming to the net more. That seems to be working for Parris Todd instead of letting Kaitlyn Christian come to her a little bit.
Yeah. Pressing as opposed to that tentativeness that she had at the beginning of game one.
A blistering pass. 7-3 lead now for Parris. Lots of angles worked in too. That seems to be working. She said after the Kate Fahey win, Fahey's a player that hits it a bit flatter, so using those angles was fruitful for her. Using the similar strategy here against Kaitlyn Christian, who just wants to climb to the net and take control with pure athleticism. 8 Waters in a San Clemente final. We've seen that story 2 years ago. Ended in favor of Parris Todd. Waters still references it as something that lingers in the back of her mind when she sees Parris, which they have in the final this year. Heavy serve, missed return for Kaitlyn Christian, who has seemingly lost her way at the end of game 2.
Parris Todd's getting hot at exactly the right time, and she will get, if this keeps up, another look at that gold medal against Annalie Waters.
Point. Match point.
Oh my goodness.
Match point for Parris Todd with back-to-back misses on the return.
10-3.
It's deep.
Side out.
See what kind of damage Kaitlyn Christian does here. A player in this situation is just
3-10.
trying to find some confidence. Blitz the serve, fouls it up in full control at the kitchen. What a play by Kaitlyn Christian.
And that's something we saw her use during the pool play very well, is that focus on that heavy serve to kind of set up the rest of the point, get those points on the board while serving. There's 2 in a row.
So when do you call a timeout if you're Parris? What's the scoreboard, the score line for you?
I think 6.
Okay. Keep an eye on that, see if she does.
5-10. Side out.
That serve was wide. It was called wide, and Parris Todd will accept the break. Match point number 2.
10-5.
Clean winner, Parris Todd takes it and will move on to Championship Sunday, a 2-game sweep over Kaitlyn Christian, who beat her earlier this season in a semifinal. What a moment for Parris Todd.
Yeah, she found it and she kept it, just hitting her spots. The variety was so good. Suddenly turning the tables and making Kaitlyn Christian guess over the course of the match. Well done. Great fire going into that gold medal match on Sunday.
Parris Todd will join us when we return to talk about the ultimate rematch of the San Clemente final, where she beat Annalie Waters in 2022.
Action.
Welcome back to the CIBC PPA Tour Finals. Parris Todd marching on to Championship Sunday with a 2-game sweep over Kaitlyn Christian. She will meet Annalie Waters in the final, and she joins us now to talk about a huge win. Let's start with game 1. Parris, you were trailing for most of the way through, 7-2 at one point, but you have such a mental resiliency about you. How were you able to storm back in that one and find your game late in the game to forge the comeback?
First of all, Kaitlyn's such a great player. She's playing so well. I think for me, it's just really staying in there, especially in game 1. When you get down, it's literally a game of runs. So whoever can kind of pull it up and keep going and stay in the points and kind of just get a rhythm, especially progressive draws. We only have 1 match every day. We just kind of got to get a rhythm and get into it. And thank you, everyone, so much for coming out. You guys were so awesome.
Parris Todd, a much different display here today than we saw here on Championship Court during your pool play matches. What was that differentiation there? What went into that? And are we going to see this fire on Championship Sunday?
Well, you guys didn't get to see me playing on grandstand the rest of the week. I was killing it. I was doing great, and then I showed up here, and I couldn't make a ball on the court. So thankfully, I was able to make a ball on the court today. But I got to play Anna Lee this week already, so I'm a little warmed up, kind of know what to do, and ready to be out here for Championship Sunday. This is home for me, so it just feels so great, and I feel like I always play great here. So thank you guys for cheering me on.
And last time, Parris, that you won gold over Anna Lee Waters was in a final in San Clemente. What do you draw from that experience? Obviously, you guys are much different players at this point in time, but how much confidence does that give you, knowing that you've been there before?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely gives me confidence going into it. There's only a few of us that have actually beaten her. She's playing amazing. You know, she's the best player in the world, but I'm always going to come out here and give her a fight and give it my all. And I have Hunter and his dad with me this week, so it's really special to me. And I actually got to put my coaching hat on because he's playing Tyson next, my ex-teammate on Orlando Squeeze, so it's going to be fun. So I got to put my coaching hat on.
Perfect segue for us. Parris, congratulations on Championship Sunday. And as she mentioned, her boyfriend Hunter Johnson taking the court next against the most electrifying man in sports, Tyson McGuffin. So Parris Todd will head to the bench of Hunter, and we're going to head to break. A thrilling men's singles semifinal coming up next.